Hello, you alright? Welcome back. Another top 5 match worn for you from this week. Let's get started, see what I've got for you. So, I'm going to kick things off this week with a bit of a conspiracy theory for you. When the question is asked, which it is many times, what was the away shirt for Holland at Euro 88? Now, you know the legendary home shirt. I believe that this, if it were needed, would have been the away shirt from that tournament. This is the away shirt that was worn when Holland played Italy in a friendly match at the Stadio Olimpico in November 88. So they were reigning European champions by then. The reason I believe this shirt is the 88 away is the octagonal pattern in the material. Well, look at that awesome design. Now, when you look at the Soviet Union away shirt from the tournament, it shares that same pattern. And that's the reason I have a feeling that this would have been the away. Not that there's some geometrical masterclass pattern design version out there. I think it would have been this. Anyway, what does it matter? It's still an absolute masterclass of design. Unfortunately, it was worn in a 1-0 defeat. Luca Vialli got a winner for Italy. This shirt was actually worn by big striker John Van Loon. He came on as a substitute and wore this beautiful number 17 shirt. Interesting features about this shirt are the style of the number. Now it's a flock number, but as was the style that the Dutch national team wore at the time, it is machine stitched as well. So it's flock and machine stitch. Normally you see cloth for a machine stitch number, but the Dutch national team, they wore it like this. It's flock, KNVB crest, light transfer, Adidas logo. It's made from 62% polyester, 38% cotton, and it's absolutely massive. Like, when you look at that, I mean, very, very long shirt, but Van Loon, 6'3.5", big Utrecht striker, you know, that was for him. Great shirt and interesting theory. Ready for another? Next up, another piece of 80s design genius. Admiral and possibly some of their finest work here on the Belgium shirt from 1981. Now you might say, well, it's 1982 World Cup. Yes, similar, I mean the same design, but in the World Cup qualifiers when this design was first launched, it featured a collar, whereas at the tournament itself, Spain 82, you remember Maradona crowded around by a lot of Belgians, didn't have a collar on, it was just a straight V-neck. So this was worn against Holland, their great rivals. By this time, Belgium had already qualified for Spain 82. They were already there. The Dutch wouldn't be, even though they beat them 3-0 in this shirt. Look at that number on the back. I love this like 3D effect. It's flock material. It was worn by a player called Mark Millikamps. He didn't play much, but he got to wear this absolutely amazing shirt. It was worn in some games without the Admiral branding on the chest. I mean, as if there's not enough branding on there already. But this version does have that on there. Belgium had worn Adidas shirts at Euro 80 when they reached the final, then switched to Admiral, but the deal only lasted for 3 years before Adidas took back over again for Euro 84. So, but this was the only design that the English manufacturers ever produced. You know, at home, obviously there's an away one, but yeah, this fantastically rare and beautiful piece. I'm a big fan of obscure international shirts. They don't come much more obscure than Belarus from their first ever European Championships qualifying campaign. Previously they'd been part of the Soviet Union, so they'd never partaken themselves in a Euros or even a World Cup qualifying campaign. Prior to this, they'd only played 7 friendly matches. This shirt comes from the match played in Rotterdam against Holland. Previously in June, incredibly, Belarus had beaten Seedorf, Kluivert, Davids and co. in Minsk. So the Dutch took a real shock in Minsk. That was in this design shirt, made by Tan Sport. See, I mean, very obscure, outlandish design there. So for the match in Rotterdam, they switched into this shirt, manufactured by ABM from Italy. But I mean, when I say manufacturers, I can't say designed by. I mean, that is for me just a rip-off of Kappa's Barcelona 92 to 95 away shirt. Let me get one. That's shirt copycats right there for me. Anyway, This shirt was won by Andrei Dovnar. They lost this match 1-0. I mean, it took the Dutch until the 83rd minute to find a winner against the Belarusians in this shirt. This is the first ever Belarus national crest, but it only lasted until 1997. So, amazingly rare shirt there, and great interesting story to go with it. Next up, requested by Ivan Sturfeld. It's a Chelsea shirt worn by Torre Andre Flo. Now, it's very, very rare that you get to hold a shirt in your hands that was worn by a player who scored 2 goals in a match against Barcelona. This shirt is such a shirt. Flo banged into at Stamford Bridge as the Blues famously beat Barcelona. In an incredible 8-minute spell in the first half, Chelsea scored 3 times, Flo bagged a brace, and Barca were on the ropes at half-time. Unfortunately, Figo pulled a goal back, that crucial away goal, and they went to the new camp and got burned, eventually losing out in extra time after a real thriller. On these Umbo shirts, there are no specific features that differentiates this from a replica shirt. It is the same fundamentally. The logo's embroidered, embossed, auto glass is the same size, but this flock name set cannot be replicated identically, and this Champions League patch, they weren't commercially available at this time. It's very, very rare to find that. I do like shirts with more features, but when it's got such a story to it, the guy scored 2 goals. Torre Andre Flo, the big Norwegian. I have to say I'm a fan of it. And thanks, Ivan, for recommending that we take a look at it. So, last but not least, a request from Martin Cairns. Now, I'm going to hold it back to front first. Let's see the back. That's a Liverpool shirt, isn't it? The 89-91 away? No, you're wrong. It's AS Monaco. And it's from the 91-92 Cup Winners' Cup campaign. Now, it is so rare, this shirt. It was only worn in this one game in the competition. Monaco had gone to Swansea and IFK Norrköping, and they'd won an all-red shirt. Then they played AS Roma, they'd won a white shirt. Because Feyenoord, who they were playing in this game, were red and white, there was nothing they could do. So they had to go, basically someone called Kenny Dalglish up and said, have you got any the old Liverpool shirts? And this shirt came through from Adidas. And what an absolute masterclass! I absolutely love this fleck pattern in there, and with it being Monaco as well, it's got a real classy touch to it. The Tam Oil sponsor on there, smaller, to meet the UEFA regulations. Adidas trefoil and club badge all flock, long sleeved. I mean, look at those cuffs, amazing with the 3 stripes running down there, and as if it wasn't an absolute belter enough, it was worn by George Weah. Yeah, the Liberian god scored in this shirt as well in his last season for the club before going on to play for PSG. Obviously, he went on to play at the San Siro and won the Ballon d'Or. Arsene Wenger was the Monaco boss as well, and they secured a 2-2 draw, which was enough to take them through to the final in Lisbon on away goals. Really classic European night in the history of the club, worn by a legend. Absolutely fantastic design, football shirts at their best. So, hope you enjoyed taking a look at those 5 shirts with me. Like I said, take the request, so leave me a comment and I'll take a look and see what I can do for next week. Let me know which shirts you've enjoyed taking a look at as well, and I'll get back to you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.